Hi, everybody. Welcome to Prayerful Pause with the Pastor. A few minutes to pause in your day to think of something greater than yourself, greater than myself or ourselves. I have my cup of tea here this morning, and I find myself thinking about sustainability. Not the kind of sustainability we probably often think of, not environmental sustainability or energy sustainability, not even about sustainable farming, but about sustainability in relationships. Now, I admit I was brought to think about this through politics. What else is new in my life right now? But I was thinking about people who've been close at different times politically and then they separate. I was thinking actually of John McCain and Lindsey Graham, but others. It's equally true for them. And I got to thinking about my own history with relationships, friendships, intimate relationships, partners, and spouses. You know, I went through a very rough time about, I don't know, between 1 and 2 decades ago. I don't know exactly when. And was heartbroken. My life was upended by the end of a relationship. One of my friends said to me at that point in time, you brought out meaning me, you brought out the best in that person. And they just couldn't sustain it. And I thought to myself, well, that's a terrible thing to say, first off. And secondly, I'm not so sure that that's really true. But even if we accept that it's true, I have looked around at organizations that do really well for a time and then can't sustain it. It makes me very cautious whenever I'm entering into any kind of a relationship, whether it's employment or friendship or acquaintanceship. Right now, those are my basic relationships. And relationship with God. I mean, anything. I look at it and I say, am I only bringing to this what I know I can sustain? Am I only bringing to this what I know I can sustain? And I read something, I can't remember the author, probably 20 to 25 years, well, maybe longer ago now. But I remember that she said, only have as many close friends as you can respond to if they are all in crisis at the same time. I think it must have been a long time ago. I think I was teaching, so that would have put me in my 20s. So we're talking 40 years ago, right? But it's still good advice. Your close friends are the ones you will drop everything for. So only have as many of those as you can respond to if they all need you at the same time. And then I think again about sustainability of relationships. I've heard it said that we are friends for a reason or friends for a season. I think that has borne out to be true in my life. Doesn't mean we are less close during those times, nor does it mean that we are less influential in each other's lives for those times. But they aren't sustainable. So then I think about, all right, what makes it sustainable for me in a relationship? Well, lots of things. I have the freedom to reach out or not. I'm not always the one reaching out. The other person is reaching out as well. I have the ability to make suggestions and have them taken seriously. I feel like I'm valued. Usually the sustainable relationships, we have common values, things that interest us, that we can enjoy each other's company while doing those things, or not, if it's sitting quietly and reading or journaling or writing, whatever. but it's sustainable. It's easy. It's really easy. Sustainable relationships are easy and fulfilling. And, you can count on them. And you want to be present for the other person to count on. So if that's the case, how sustainable is our relationship with Spirit, God, Jesus, the great birther, the great transformer, however you think of the divine presence? How sustainable is your relationship with that? I can tell you that for me, what makes it so sustainable is that I embrace the many facets of the divine. And I'm always excited to find a new one. I think for people who focus solely on one aspect of, I'll say, God, it's easy to find limitation there. Even God's self. If you're looking at this overarching thing as opposed to Jesus or Spirit, and you see it as its own entity, I see them as all incorporated into each other, but not everyone does. So if you see God as a separate entity, well, then that God can come up short in terms of personification and modeling as a human being. If you focus only on Jesus, who's great at that, can come up short in some degree to the God of the ages, perhaps. Or, I don't know. I'm just pulling things out here, but you see what I mean. But if you are open to divinity being across not just the Trinity, but as I mentioned, some of the other things, the birther, Holy Birther of Tomorrow is one of my favorites right now. Holy Hope. The author of creation, the painter of the stars at night, all those things, those different images. If we can accept multiple images, multiple ways of relating to the divinity, I think it helps our relationship with that energy, force, spirit, fill in the blank, however you describe it, to be more sustainable, because we grow and we change, and our ideas change and our needs change. And the really sustainable relationships are those who can not only accommodate those changes, but can sometimes facilitate them, but always support them and help us to grow through them. So start with your relationships today and think about which are the ones that are sustainable, what make them sustainable. Are you giving too much in one area? Do you need to pull back a little because you can't sustain that level? And I don't mean to imply that everything is sort of flatlined. Sometimes I put a lot of time and energy into one relationship and not so much another. And then, life, it's like a lava lamp. It's like there's a big glob here, and then it morphs over into here, and then it moves into something else. A lot of my life is like a lava lamp. Have you noticed? I use that example a lot, I guess. But I think that looking at what is sustainable for us and who is sustainable in giving to us, who are the friends or family members or inspirations or mentors or whatever, what are the relationships that sustain us, but that are sustainable for us as we move forward. And then, so start with you. Start with right where you are. And then after you've done that for a little bit, then expand it and draw the parallels. See, are there parallels between what you've just figured out about your own relationships with others and your relationship with the supreme being or the holy or the great mystery? however it is you define it. I think if we start with who we are and what's sustainable, what can we sustain and what do we look for in a sustainable relationship, and then realize that it is present in our relationship with God, I think that may prove to be interesting for us today. And if you find that those things are not present in your relationship with God, well, change it, really. It's not just a one-shot relationship with the Supreme Being. We are invited into multiple relationships because of our multiple needs and our multifaceted human nature. All right, just a little something to get you started on the day as you sip your cup of tea or coffee. And I look forward to our chat next time. Thanks for joining me for the Prayerful Pause with the Pastor. I'm Pastor Deb Swift of South Presbyterian Church in Rochester, New York. I look forward to seeing you back here next time. I hope that you have a great day, a safe day. Be well. God bless. Take care. And bye for now.